Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. As you notice, still working on O-level mathematics. So in this platform, we have the question paper which was written in November 2019. So that is the question paper that we are going to focus on and see actually what we are supposed to have. So this is our paper 2 for O-level maths. So guys, we'll also take note about the information that you'll be given. I think the instructions, I talked about them. Make sure that you read the instructions, guys. And also, this was part of our new syllabus. As we know that in our new syllabus now, we answer 4 questions in section B. So which means, guys, you must have at least 4 questions that you work on and topics that you actually target, and that part actually can help. And section A, as we know that you're supposed to answer everything, so not wasting much time, we're going to quickly rush through the questions and see what we're given. So the first part was to simplify. This is 4, so you're given 4 minus a bracket of 1 and 3 over 4 plus 1 and 2 over 3. All right, so this is what we are being given to simplify or to evaluate. You're not given to write our answers as a decimal or as a fraction, just to simplify. So as you know that we have to apply our BODMAS, it still exists, the BODMAS concept, whereby we've got brackets of division. So here we've got brackets, so you can take rid of the brackets. So you're going to have 4 minus, simplifying inside the bracket here, we can express this as improper fractions. We multiply here, then we add, so it's going to be 4 plus 3, which is 7 over 4 plus, we multiply here, then we add, is going to be 5 over 3. All right, so from this part, definitely have to add the 2 because in this bracket, so we're going to, at the end, obtain 4 minus, for us to add these 2, we have to find the LCM of these 2, or the LCD of 4 and 3, which is 12 in this case. So remember, guys, we are going to have 12 divided by 4, which is 3. Then whatever that you get, you multiply to 21. So 21 to 7, sorry. So 7 by 3 is going to be 21 here, plus the same thing is 12 divided by 3, which is going to give us 4. Then 4 times 5, which is 20. All right, so from there we can be able to add the 2 here. So it's 4 minus, if we add 21 plus 20, that's something like 41. So it's going to be 41 over 12. So this is what you're going to have at the end. And after that, we have done with the brackets. These 2 now, they're subtracting. So you have to find the LCM again of 4. This one is going to be 4 over 1. So that means the LCM is going to be of 1 and 12, of which the LCM is going to be 12. So 12 divided by 1, that is 12, then by 4, which is 48, minus 12 by, and 12 is 1 times 41, which is 41. So you can subtract, and this is going to give us 7 over 12. All right, so this is what we're supposed to have as a common fraction. Okay, the other part we are given B, we are given the value of y, z to 1 decimal place, and these are now asked to find the minimum possible value of, okay, find the minimum possible value of, all right, what are we given? It was supposed to be the product, if I'm not mistaken there. Okay, it was here, as you can see, guys, it was supposed to be y, z, the product of it was supposed to be, I think so. All right, to 2 decimal places. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. This was actually rounded to 1 decimal place. So the minimum possible, which means you're working with the smallest or the least possible value. So this 3, before it was written as 3, definitely, I told you subtract 1 digit, so it's going to be 5,25. So you're actually subtracting 0,05 from this part here. All right, same thing from Z, you're going to subtract 0,05, just like what we did, and this is going to be equal to 4,15. Okay, so that is what you're going to have in this case. We obtain, is that so, guys? This is what you're having, 4,15, yeah. So that's what you're going to have in this case. Okay, then the product of the 2 of y, z is going to be the y, which is 5,25, multiplied by z, which is 4,15. Okay, plus this is paper 2, guys. We can be assisted with our calculator also. So let us see, because let it not be as if we are not having calculators here. This paper is allowed calculators, so you can see 4.2 minus 0.05. All right, so that's it. Okay. Anyways, so here we need the product. So you said 5.25 multiplied by 4.15. Okay, so if we are to multiply, we are going to obtain 21.78, something like that. But we are given here to 2 decimal places. So to 2 decimal places, it's 7.8. This 7 is going to change this 8 into 9. So it's going to be 21.79. So that's what you're going to have in this case. This 7 changes this into 9. So it will be 21.79. Okay. So that is to 2 decimal places. So that was the condition of the question in this case. I think it is clear. All right. So let's just check the other part here. The C. We are given that there is a hotel, as an executive and general rooms in the ratio of 3:5 respectively. A general room costs $19 per day. On a certain day, all 2,928 rooms were occupied by both executive and general customers. The total takings from the rooms we are given the total money. Find the number of general rooms in the hotel. Okay, so here, sorry guys, we are given that everything was actually up to 2,928. This is the total, but remember, we are given that there's a ratio that we have here of 3:5. The ratio shows the executive to the general. Okay, so here we are given the total of the numbers. We are given that all the rooms here that we have, they were occupied, which means everything was occupied. So you can take it from there to say the general here, it has got a ratio of 5. So 5 is going to give us, we do not know the equivalent, but the total now of the room, which means we have to add 3 plus 5 for the total ratio, which is 8. So 8 is the one that corresponds with the total of 2,928. So what is the equivalent of 5? We do not know that one. So it's going to be less, as we can see. So it's 5 over what we are given, 8 times 2,928. All right, so you can use our calculator here, 5 over 8, whatever that we get to multiply to 2,928. That would be 1,830 rooms. So these were the general rooms that we had according to the ratio. So to find the one for the executive, we can actually subtract from that depending on the question. Okay, anyways, calculate the cost per day on an executive room. So we need the cost now. So this time you are working with the cost. All right, per day. So in this case, guys, let us check what we are given here. We are given that a general room, it costs $19 per day. And we calculated the number of general rooms here. We said the general rooms, they are given as 1,800. Because this is the money that the money that we are given is not for the executive. We are only given for the general room. So we can take advantage of the general rooms that we have. We obtained 1,880. So the cost for general rooms is going to be, in this case, remember, that is from the number that we have, because we need per day, but we can calculate for the total of these rooms that we have here, because that is what we actually, we can multiply to the total that we have. So we said 1,830 rooms multiplied by, since here we are given the total of all the takings here, so we can use the total. Okay, so we multiply by $19 per day for this one. So we're going to multiply by 19 here. Okay, so this is the total that you're going to get. Let us see. I want you to understand something here, guys. Multiply by 19. I want you to see something here. It's going to give us 34770. So this is $34770. So this is the cost of the general rooms, which are 1,830 rooms that we are talking about. But here we need the cost of the executive room per day. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to find the total now that we have for the executive from this total, because these were the general rooms. This is the cost for the general rooms. Okay, Now we are given the total cost of everything. This is the total cost of all the rooms. So if we subtract the one for the general rooms from this cost, which means we're going to be left with the total cost for the executive rooms exactly. So here we are going to have total cost. This was the total cost actually. So this was the total cost. Okay, so we put the total cost of executive rooms is just going to be the total that we had in terms of money. It was a let's see the money here. Okay, so it's 6661. Okay, just 66,000. So this was 66,612. Okay, dollars minus this one that we got here, which is 34,770. So we are going to obtain now the total cost for these rooms that we have. So it's 612 minus 34,770 like that. Okay, so you're going to obtain a total of 31,842. 31,842. So this is the total cost of all the rooms, but here we want to calculate the cost per day of an executive room, just a room. What is the price of a room? This was the total cost of the rooms which we had. All right. So in order for us to now know the total that you're going to have, we are going to ask ourselves, how many executive rooms do we have? Okay, here we are going to get back here to say, from this part that we had, remember the total rooms that we had, it was 2,928, and we said we've got 1,830 general rooms. So to find the executive rooms that we have, we are just going to subtract 2,928 minus 1,830. Okay, so let's see what you're going to have. 2,928 minus 1,830. This is going to give us 1,098. Okay, so which means we've got 1,098 rooms, which are the executive rooms. So we're going to divide by 1,098 here. All right, so that will be the cost per each room now. So it is going to be 31842 divided by 1,098, so that we can now have the cost of an executive room, which is the only that you are working with. So that is 31842 divided by the answer that we had, which is 29. So this is going to give us $29. So that is the cost of an executive room. We are not talking about the total cost that we had, but the cost on each and every day, each room, what was the cost of it? That was the idea there. Okay, anyways, let us see the other part of the question. We are given number 2, that's a matrix that we have. So take note, guys, whenever you're given matrices, we are supposed to understand the order of the matrix and how to simplify the given matrix that you'll be having. Okay, let me try to change this application here. All right, let's just hope we are going to be able to finish. This document is a lot of pages, so that's why it's actually doing it like this. Okay, anyways, like I was saying, take note of the order that you'll be given for the matrix. Okay, so this was x plus 2, 4, 3, then 3. The determinant of A is less than 7. Find the largest integer value. Okay, so we are given that the determinant is less than 7. So this is an inequality that you're given. How do you find the determinant? Remember, if this is A, B, C, D, its determinant is equivalent to AD minus BC. That is the product of the major diagonal minus the product of minor diagonal. But we are given that this determinant that we are talking about is less than 7. So it's an inequality that they are giving you to find. So which means you're going to find your determinant the same way. You multiply these two, so 3 and x plus 2. So it's going to be 3 times x plus 2 plus minus, sorry, we are going to subtract here BC, so it's 4 times 3, so it's minus 4 times 3. Okay, so this is 4 times 3 or whatever. Okay, so it's gonna be 4 times 3. okay, which is less than 7. Okay, so these two, they multiply each other like that. Okay, so here we're going to multiply 3 by x, which is 3x, 3 by 2, which is 6, minus 12 is less than 7. Okay, so from this part, this is an inequality, guys, that we have because we're given that it's less than. So solving for x, we're going to find our answer later on. Here we're going to solve for x. All right, so 6 minus 12, that is minus 6 is less than 7. So you can transpose negative 6 to this side is going to be a positive. So 3x is less than, that's 6 plus 7. So this one is going to be plus 6 here, which is 13. So you're going to obtain 13. So from this part, we are going to divide by 3, all right, which means our x is less than 3 into 13, that is into 12, that is going to be something like 4 and a third. All right, so you're going to obtain 4 and a third from this part, but we are given that we are supposed to find the largest integer. An integer is that is actually referring to this positive or negative or number. So what is the largest integer that we have? The x that we're talking about values which are less than 4 and a third. Let's say this is 4 and a third here. 4 is somewhere here. We've got 3, we've got 2, we've got 1, we've got 0, up to infinity. So from the values of x that we are talking, which are less than 4 and a third, which are taken to this part, which one is the largest of these numbers? We can see that the largest number that we are going to get is 4, which is an integer. So our x in this case is going to be 4. All right, so that was the idea there. Then write down the inverse of matrix A using the value of x above. Take note, we obtain that x is 4. So here we're going to substitute in place of x. It's going to be 4 plus 2, which is 6. So there we are going to have 6. All right. Then the other one, let us see here. It's 4. Okay, this part is going to remain as it is, 4, 3, 3. Okay, so that one is going to remain as it is, which is a 4, 3, 3. Okay, so that is what we had. So from this part, the question is for us to find the determinant, the inverse. Take note, guys, already. We do not have we are just told that the determinant is less than 7. This was not equal to 7, but it's less than, which means we are supposed to calculate now the determinant from this part. Okay, so like we say, determinant is equivalent to the product of major diagonal minus the minor diagonal, which is 6 and 3, which are in the major diagonal. So you just find the product of 6 by 3, which is 18, minus 4 by 3, which is 12. So if we are to subtract, you get 6. Truly, this determinant is less than what? Is less than 7. We are getting a 6. So now to find the inverse, remember after finding the determinant, the inverse of the matrix is equivalent to 1 over the determinant. Then what do? We are going to find now from this part here, these two numbers in the major diagonal, they interchange their positions. So this is 3 and this is 6. In the minor diagonal, you multiply by a negative. So it's negative times 4, which is negative 4, negative times 3, which is negative 3. So that becomes the inverse of the given matrix. Okay, so that is what we had from this part, guys. As you can see, it was actually pretty clear. Let us see the other part, which is the B part. Okay, so on the B part, we are given a vector. In the diagram, Px from PQ is 3x and QW, okay, this is why Q to W. Take note, guys, it's very, from W here, Q to W, that's what you're given. It's vector Y, and this is 3x. Okay, the point N on PR, this one makes Pn to be equal to 2NR, so it's a ratio here. Pn, say this Pn here, there are 2 NR, it's like this NR is 1, but in PN there are 2, so it's 2:1. Okay, then also Q to W and W to R is 1:5, so here we have a ratio of 1:5. Okay, so the question is expressed in terms of X and Y vector QR, that is the item 1, vector QR. So QR, which route are you going to take from Q to R? So Q to R here, we are going to take which direction that we are going to take actually. All right, take note, guys, we are given here it's 1s2, so you can complete here. This is one part here, this is Y. So here there are 5 parts, so this is going to be 5y. So you can complete this part so that it can make sense. This is also 5y, because remember it's 1 s to 5. So if this is y here, you just multiply that y by 5, so it will be vector 5y. Okay, now from q to r, okay, so this one is direct now. It's just going to be the sum of the two, isn't it? We just have to add these two. So qr is going to be vector y plus vector 5y from what? We can just even write it as the root from q to w. That will be qw plus wr. All right, which is 6y, 1 plus 5, that is 6y. Okay, so this is our vector qr there. Okay, let's see the other part of the question, vector pr. So we need vector pr. Okay, so this is item 2, we need vector p to r. So which root are we going to take from p here to r? So we're going to be pq plus qr. Okay, so this one will be pq plus qr. Okay, so that's okay, guys, I was supposed to just write this part aside. Okay, so this is item 2 here. So we want to find vector PR. So we said vector PR is PQ plus QR. So PQ from P to Q is 3x. So this is 3x plus QR, the one that we got here, QR is 6y. So just add the two. All right, so this was direct again. Let's see the other part. So this part, yes, fine. Let's see the next page here. All right, PN, the other part now is to find PN, which is item 3. So item 3 here, that's PN, we're just going to write it here. Item 3, so we need to find the vector PN from P to N here. Remember a given ratio, guys, that here is 2 is 1 from this part, or you can even use this concept, but since we do not have NR, so which means we have to use the ratios to say PN is going to be 2 parts. It has got 2 parts out of 3 of PR. Since we calculated PR here, so it's 2 over 3 of PR according to the ratio. Okay, so that means it's going to be 2 over 3 multiplied by PR. From P to R, we are given 3x plus 6y. Okay, so this here you multiply 2 over 3 times 3. So this is going to give us 2x plus 2 over 3 times 6. So it's going to give us 4y in this case. Okay, so this is our vector Pn. Okay, so that is what we were supposed to obtain. Let's see the other part now, item 4, Qn. So what is the vector of Qn? So from Q to N, which root are we going to take? Okay, that is Qn here. All right, since we have Pn, we can just take this root here, Qn. This is what we need from Q to N. Okay, let me just wait so that it can save a little. Okay, so I'm going to take this root here from this Q to N. That is the root that I'm going to take. So it's Qp plus Pn. Okay, so this will be our Qn. So it's going to be Qp plus Pn. All right, that means from Q to P, Q to P, we are opposing the arrow. We're going this way, so it's going to be negative x plus Pn. The Pn is the one that we got here, so we're going to add this one. Remember, your Pn is 2x, so we're going to add 2x plus 4y like that. Okay. So that means we've got negative 1 plus 2, which is 1x. So it's just x plus 4y. Okay, so this is our vector Qn. Okay, so that was part of the question. Let us see the other part now from this item 3. Okay, so that was the end of it. Let's see. Okay, question 3 is now another part, which is now circle geometry. So take note, guys, circle geometry, please understand the information that you're given. So in this case, the diagram that shows above, shown above is points, PQR, whatever. So as you can see, it's a cyclic quad. As we can see that the 4 vertices are on the circumference of a circle, and we are given the diameter. Remember, diameter, if you never got a diameter here, we know that the diameter subtends an angle of 90 degrees at the circumference, so this angle becomes 90. And also from the cyclic quadrilateral that we see, we know that opposite angles are supplementary. So that means this angle here, which is opposite to 57, we can simply obtain it from 180 because they are supplementary. Supplementary means they add 2 angles which add up to 180. So it's 2 angles. So this is going to be 123 degrees. All right. Also, we are given that the arcs PS and SR are equal from P to S, which means also with the chords, they are equal. Once the arcs are equal, it means also those chords are equal. So what does this theorem say? Or what do we get from this theorem? Okay, it states that from the equal chords or equal arcs, they subtend equal angles at the circumference. SR here, it creates angle Q at the circumference here. The same SP, it creates angle Q also at the sec. So these two angles are equal that we see here. That is what we actually know about this part of the theorem. Okay, so anyways, we're given an angle 57 and other information. So let us quickly rush through the questions. Name the angle which is equal to SQR. Okay, we need an angle equal to SQR. That is SQR, this one, okay, SQR. So we already mentioned it's SQP. Okay, so this was our A. Item 1 says SQP. Okay, so that is the angle that we have. Okay, find PQS. Item 2, we need QPS. Okay, where are we going to have our PQS? All right, PQS. That is PQS. Where are we going to have this angle? P to Q to S. Okay, so guys, as you can see, it's just the angle that you're talking about actually. Okay, remember we said this is 90 degrees. So from the 90 degrees that we have, this is 57. So these two angles definitely should give us what? 90 degrees. So it's just going to be 90 degrees minus 57. And this is going to give us something like 33 degrees. Or you can simply take the concept of angles in a triangle. If you can't, like say that this is 90, we can just subtract from 180 degrees minus 90 plus 57 degrees. You must obtain the same answer like the one that we got here. And then let us see the part now, which is item 3, QRS. Okay, so here we need the QRS, which is item 3 here. That is QRS. Okay, so in order for us to find the QRS, we need to have the angle that's QRS. Already we talked about this one. Okay, this one, remember that one that I talked about from the cyclic quadrilateral, that opposite angles are supplementary. So this one, we already have this 123 degrees. All right, let's see the other part of the question. Item 4, which is QSR. So we need QS to R. That is our item 4, QSR. So from Q to S to R now. Okay, remember, we have got this angle here, PQS, we got this angle. We said our angle is 33. This angle here is 33. Also, this angle here is 33. So to find the angle QSR, which is Q to S to R, which is this angle here, we're just going to subtract those angles from 180 degrees. So it is going to be 180 degrees minus the sum of these two angles, which is 123 degrees plus 33 degrees. Okay, so this is going to be 180 minus, that's 156 degrees. Okay, so if we have to subtract properly, it's something like 24 degrees. Okay, so that was the idea of the question. Let us see the other part. Okay, now another part, which is actually another question now, which is on the item B. So here we're given a triangle to work on, which is from our solving triangles. Then we are given to calculate PS, this one from P to S. So guys, it's the right angle triangle. So if you can take a closer look, you can take advantage of what? Of this angle of 22,3 degrees here. This is 22,3. Since according to this angle of 22,3, we are given this side, which is the opposite, and this becomes our hypotenuse. Using the bigger triangle here, I'm using this bigger triangle here. All right, so using this bigger triangle, we can actually use that. So which ratio are we talking about from our soccer tower? So this is for sine, opposite over hypotenuse. So that means we are going to have sine of theta, which is opposite of hypotenuse. So sine theta, which is sine 22,3, is equal to the opposite, which is 3,7, over the hypotenuse, which is PS, the one that you're calculating, which is PS. Okay, so to find the PS, you can just cross multiply here. That's PS times sine 23, which is PS sine 22,3 degrees, which is equal to 1 times 3,7, that's 3,7. So what we do here, simply divide by sine 22,3 both sides by sine 22,3 both sides. So once divide here, that will be the exact answer that you're going to obtain. All right, so let's see from our calculator, what are we going to have from this part? 3,7 divide by sine 22,3 degrees. Okay, we're going to obtain something like 9,75, something like that. So to 3 decimal places is going to 3 SF is going to be 1, 2, 3. So this 0 cannot change this 5, so it will be 9,75. Okay, so that will be 9,75 centimeters. That is, remember, if the degree of accuracy is not specified, leave your answer to 3 significant figures. Okay, so that is what the condition. The other part, okay, so that was the last part of the page. Let us see the other part of the question. What are we now given to calculate? Calculate Q PR. So this is QPR. It's an angle that we are calculating here. So let's see QPR. So this is item 2. We want to calculate QPR. Okay, which angle are you talking about here? Q to P to R, this angle here. All right, so to calculate this angle, guys, we can also take advantage of our trig ratios because this is a right angle triangle. According to this angle, this side is now going to change. Now we are talking about this side being our adjacent and the 5,2 being our hypotenuse. So I'm working with this smaller triangle here now. So according to cos, because it's the one that has got adjacent of hypotenuse, we know that cos of theta is equal to adjacent of hypotenuse, which means cos of the angle that you want to calculate, which is QPR, so it's cos QPR in this case is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent is 3,7. That's our adjacent, 3,7 over the hypotenuse, which is 5,2. Direct with this answer. Yes, you can write it as a decimal or whatever that you're going to have, but with this part that you have, in order for you to find the angle now, which is the QPR here, it is going to be arc cos. To remove this cos here, you write on the other side as arc cos. So QPR is going to be arc cos of this answer that we have. All right, so like I said, you can actually use the decimal, or you can just use direct from your calculator like this. So arc cos of this, what we have from our calculator, I'm just going to okay, just a little bit. I just want to shift this part. Sorry for this, guys. All right. So from your calculator, that will be arc cos 3.7 over 5,2, like that. Okay, so direct, you can obtain the answer here, which is 44,63, something like that. Remember, it's an angle. Angles to 1 decimal place. So 3 cannot change this 6, so it's going to be 44,6. So this is our angle, 44,6 degrees. Okay, so you've got 44,6 degrees on this one. That's what we had. Let's see the other part, SPR. So what is the angle SPR? Okay, let's get back to our diagram. Item 3, we need SPR. So we need to actually locate exactly where do we have our SPR. Okay, so this is S to P to R. Which side are we talking, which angle are you talking about here? That's SPR. Okay, this angle here, this is the angle that you're talking about. Okay, so how can we actually have or determine this angle, guys? That's the question. We can cross-check if the information is actually complete here, because here we just have this side. We can use sine rule, it's fine. But do we have anything that we can use? Okay, let's just try to trace our diagram back again. Okay, remember, guys, we have got this angle, 44,6, which means we can find this angle R here. By subtracting from 180, we can find this angle R there. So let me just illustrate what I'm trying to say here. We could have used a lot of things actually, but I think this one was going to be the easiest way for us to obtain here. All right, so I'm saying here from the angle R from the angle P, we can calculate this angle R here, which is PRQ. By subtracting 180 degrees, this angle is from 180, so it's 180 minus this 2, which is 44,6 plus 90 degrees, or we can simply say it's 90 degrees minus 44.6 degrees, just like that. Okay, so that is going to be this angle here. All right, so what are we going to have at the end? 90 minus 44.6. Okay, this is 44.6. It's going to give us 45.4. That is 45.4 degrees. Okay, so the question is now, these two parts here that we have, because we want to calculate this angle here. This is the one that we want, SPR. We can find this angle here that we have on these two. We can actually determine this, or we can actually say these two angles should be, okay, let me, that one is going to be the longer way, guys. This is just 2 marks, so try to avoid having a lot of working. So let us just use the exterior angle concept. All right, so you've got an exterior angle here of these two angles that we have. So we know that it's going to be the sum of these two angles. Then exterior angle, so it's sum of the opposite interior. This is your interior, then the opposite, these angles. So if we add these two angles, they must give us this exterior angle here, which is our 45.4. So that means this angle SPR that we are talking about here is going to be, SPR is going to be, since if we add these two, we must obtain this angle. So we're going to subtract now the 45.4 degrees minus the one that we are given, which is the 22.3 degrees. Okay, so I was actually like finding a way that I can explain so that you can understand. I don't know if it is clear. I don't know if it is clear. So it is going to be 23.1 degrees. Okay, so this will be 23.1 degrees. So that's our SPR. Or you can find this angle. It's not to say that this angle, to find it, is wrong. No, it's not wrong. You can find this angle, then you can use now angles in a triangle, which add up to 180 to find this remaining angle. It's fine. You can obtain the same thing, even to use the sine rule, because you have got this side. So guys, there are so many ways that you could have, but I'm just saying, sometimes you can have this easiest way to use, take advantage of those easiest way to use. Okay, anyways, that was the concept of the question. Let's see the other part now. On question 4, we are given that there is a sweet shop sells cylindrical sweets, each of diameter 3.8 centimeters, length 4.9 centimeters. So calculate the volume of one sweet. So it's a cylindrical sweet that you're talking about, guys, whereby we know that the volume is equivalent to pi r squared h, whereby you talk about the radius in this case. So pi, we are given pi 22/7, because here if we multiply and add is 22/7. So it's 22/7 times the radius. We are given a diameter of 3.8, so which means radius is diameter over 2, which is 3.8/2. So if we divide here, what we have, 3.8 divide by 2. So it's 3.8, sorry, divide by 2. This is going to give us 1.9. So we're going to have 1.9 centimeters. So it's going to be 1.9 squared times the length now, which is the height of 4.9. So that was the idea in this case, 22/7 multiply by 1.9 squared multiply by 4.9. Okay, so if you are to do this, we can obtain 55.594. So this is 55.5, okay, 594 cubic centimeters. Okay, so that was the volume of the sweet. Then the mass of 1 cubic meter of sweet is 0.63 grams. Calculate the mass of one sweet to the nearest gram. Okay, guys, this is actually a proportion type of equation. This one is nothing to do with the density. Remember, there are those questions that we used. This one is a simple proportion to say each cubic meter is equivalent to 0.63 grams. But here we have got how many cubic meters? We've got 55.594. So what about 55.594 cubic centimeters is equivalent to how many grams? We do not know. That was the question. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to give us more. So you just have to multiply. All right, over 1 times 0.63. Okay, so from this part on your calculator, by 0.63 It's going to be 35, comma, something like that. Okay, so to three significant figures is 1, 2, 3. These two cannot change this 0, so it's going to be 35, comma, 0 kgs. It's grams, sorry, we are in grams here. So it's going to be 35, comma, 0 grams, or just 35 grams. Okay, so that was the part of the question, guys. It has nothing to do with the density, this type of a question. So please read and understand your questions, all right? The B part you're given in the diagram above that you see, it's an arrow of a signpost. The arrow is cut from a rectangular sheet of metal with dimensions 30 by 20. So it's 30 this side by 20 here, 10 plus 10, that's 20. All right, so if this is 30, we are given 15, it means yes, going to be 15. If truly this is 20, we are given 7 plus 7, that's 14. 14 from 20, what are you going to have? That will be 6. In between here is going to be 6. So I think everything is clear. So this is 6 also. This is 7. This is 7. From here to here, this is 15. This is 15. So just to know, analyze your diagram. Okay, so anyways, the question is calculate the area of the arrow. So this is our arrow that we are having. So for us to calculate the area, we are supposed to actually know the shapes which are formulating the arrow here. So this is our arrow, which is this one is made of a rectangle and a triangle, this one. And this one is actually a right angle triangle because we can actually take from this part here, from the base and height from this part here. This will be a perpendicular height, which is of 15. So from this part, remember it's 15, and the base is going to be the 20, the whole of this. Okay, so the total area, so this is item 1, so we need actually the area of the arrow. So area is going to comprise of a rectangle, which is length times width, plus a triangle, which is a half base times perpendicular height, which is length times width, 15 here, and this is 6. Remember, guys, we said this is 7, this is 7. So from 20, we are going to remain with what? With 6. 7 plus 7, that's 14. Then from 20, we get 6. So that one is going to be 15 times 6. Plus, for the triangle, it's half of the base, which means we are referring to this base here of 20. So it's half of 20 times the height from this point to this point, which is 15. All right, so that's it. 15 by 6, that's 90, plus half of 20, that's 10. 10 by 15, which is 150. So you can combine these two to obtain 240 square centimeters. Okay, so that was what we had on the item 1 part. Okay, so let's see on the other part of the question what we're given. Calculate the perimeter of the arrow, guys. Perimeter is distance right around the shape. Okay, that is what we are being asked in this case, to calculate what? The perimeter. All right, so let's see, because we need the distance right around that shape that you're given, that is the perimeter. So that was our item 2. So let me just write it here. All right, so the item 2, we need the perimeter. So like I said, that's the distance right round. So on the distance here, we are going to move from this point, let's just say start from this point here to this point, which is 6. So our perimeter is going to be 6 plus, from this point to this point is 15. This is 15, this is also 15. So it's going to be 15 plus, we move on from this point, distance right around the shape. So from this point to this point is 7. So we add 7 plus, we are now left with this one. We do not have this distance here, which is the same as this one. We do not have. So what are you going to do? Back to Pythagoras theorem. So we're going to use our Pythagoras theorem. Since we have got two sides that we are given here, we can calculate the third side because it's a right angle triangle. Okay, so let us apply our Pythagoras theorem to calculate the third side that we are given. Remember, a squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And this side that you're calculating, that's our hypotenuse, which is opposite to 90 degrees. So we're going to have 7 and 15 squared. So it's 7 squared plus 15 squared. So to find h, just introduce the square root both sides, square root both sides. So that means our h in this case is going to be the square root of 7 squared plus 15 squared. Okay, so that's square root of 7 squared plus 15 squared. What do we have here? Square root of 7 squared plus 15 squared. All right, so this is going to give us something like 16, comma something like that. Or you can just write it like that, the way that we are actually obtaining this part here, or depends, okay, but we are going to have it this way. So as a decimal is 15,6 to 3SF, 16,6. So it's going to be 16,6 in this case, okay? So we've got 16,6, okay? Is that so? Okay, yeah, that's 16,6, because this 5 is going to change this 5 into 6. All right. Now that we have that length here from this point to this point, then is the one that we are going to actually use. Okay, guys, sorry for this. This part that we took here, the 7 is from this point to this point. So this one is not going to give us the exact thing. I want to erase this part. It's because I was working with this part combined like this. The 7 is for here. I want you to see what happened. Sorry for this, guys. The 7 is for this portion here like this. Okay, now it can make sense if we do it like this. The 7 that you're talking about is from this point to this point. But there's a gap that is in between here, from this one to this one here. So it's no longer going to give us 7. So here is going to be what? 10 is going to correspond with 10. This is 10. So the whole of this was the 3 here. So it's going to be the whole of this is 10 here. Now it can make sense. All right. So it's got 10 and this is 15. So just a little error there, guys. I hope we actually saw this part. I just hope, guys, sorry for this. So this is supposed to be 10 here. All right. And this can actually affect everything. All right. So let's see what then are we going to have if this is 10 squared and this is 10 squared. Okay, so let's get back to our calculator. We have got 10 squared here. All right, something like this. So I've got 5 square root of 13, or it can be 18.0 there. As you can see, this one does not change. These two cannot change. So it's going to be 18 by 0 there. Okay, so 18,0 is just 18. So I'm just going to write it as 18. All right, so now from the 18 that we got here, let us add everything. So remember, this is 18 for this side here. This is 18 for this one. So we are now at this point. So we're going to add that 18. All right, we are now at this point here. The same thing is now happening from that point that we have from this point to this point is also 18. So we're going to add another 18. Then from this point to this point, it's 7. Okay, so we are going to add 7. From this point to this point is 15. We are going to add 15. I think we are now back to where we started at 6. So that is our perimeter. So as we can see, guys, this is what you're going to have at the end. So all you need is to add this value 6 plus 15 plus 7 plus 18 plus 18 again plus 7 plus 15. All right, we add everything. This is going to give us 86. So that's 86 centimeters as the perimeter. Okay, so depending with the degree of accuracy that you used, but that is what you're supposed to obtain in this case. All right, so that was the perimeter of the arrow. Let us see the other part of the person now. Okay, which is now on construction. So you want to see this. So they will give A, B, C, D is a trapezium. So take note, guys, all the constructions, everything has to be done on a single diagram. So we've got our A, B, C, D is a trapezium. The size of the trapezium in an angle of 120 degrees. AD is perpendicular to AB. DC is parallel to AB. Okay, construct the trapezium. Okay, so on this type of equation, guys, I always say it's an advantage if you can have a sketch. So let's just see what you're going to actually have this trapezium. We just know a trapezium that's supposed to be something of this. All right, with the other sides, they'll be parallel actually. So these ones are the one that is parallel, A, DC, and BC. So if we say A, B, C, D, it can make sense. A, B, C, D, but we have an angle A, B, C, D. Okay, let's see. AB is parallel to DC, so it's not gonna work. We need this to be parallel, so it can be A, B, C, D. So that, yeah, something like that. Now I think it can make sense because we are supposed to have our A, B, C being 90, so which means there's something there. So you can just change this, our C, because this is just a sketch, guys. That's why I say make a sketch, you see, because you must analyze from your sketch how your diagram is gonna be. So take note, guys, it's not okay. This, so you can put our 90 here. Okay, so this will be something like 120. That is A. Remember that we are given that AD is perpendicular, so that's why I'm shifting this part here on my diagram. So that can be my A now, B, C, D. Okay, so I've got 120 and this is perpendicular like this. These are parallel. AB being 6,5. So this will be 6,5 centimeters. AD 5,2 centimeters, and this one, okay. AB, AD perpendicular, okay. Then DC, so these ones are parallel. So being parallel also helps us to know that these angles, they're going to be actually going to give us 180. Remember the co-interior concept. So if this is 120, this is 60. All right, so you just have to know that concept. And also if this is going to be 90 also here. All right, so anyways, that's what we had. We need to construct now this trapezium. We've got a sketch. So from the sketch, let us try to apply it to have our trapezium drawn. Okay, sorry guys, I need to change this cruiser. Okay, something like this. So this is our sketch, guys. Let us have our instruments on this construction. Make sure that when you're constructing, guys, make sure everything is clear. Everything has to be clear actually. Okay, so anyways, I don't know, I just hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So here we are going to have our line. Remember guys, I always start with a line to show my constructions on a straight line. All right, so this is what I'm having. So from this straight line, I've got 2 points which are important, point B and point A. At point B, I'm just going to mark that point as my reference point, nothing much. Okay, so I've got my point B. Then if this can be my point B, what do I need from this B? From the B to A, 6,5 centimeters, so you can just measure. So you measure on your ruler, but yeah, it can actually give me the 6,5 on this one. So this is my 6,5. All right, sorry, I adjusted again. Do not adjust, just leave it like that, the 6,5 that you'll be having. All right, now you're going to mark your arc here. So this is your A. So this is going to be our A. At this point, we have got 6,5 centimeters. All right. And there are 2 important things that we have. At B, there is 120 degrees at B, which means we are supposed to construct 60 degrees outside, which is on the left side. So let us construct and see what is going to happen here. On the left side, remember, how do you construct 60? You need an arc that you're going to use on the left side, and from that arc you join without changing the length. From that same arc, join from the other side. These 2 arcs must actually join at a certain point. So that is the idea there. Then from there, we can now use your ruler to join everything. All right, so let me just try and minimize my ruler here. So that is the condition. All right, let me change this. So I'm going to have something of this nature. That means I can be able to join here. All right, so by joining, I have created 60 degrees outside of the shape, and the remaining angle, which is inside the diagram that I need here, is 120 degrees. Okay, so that's what I'm having for the meantime. I just know that along that line, that is where I'm going to have the point C. We do not know exactly where the point C is, so just leave it like that. Okay, but we all know that from A here, there is 90 degrees at A, so which means you're going to construct 90 degrees at A because we're told that it's perpendicular to that line. So this is what you're going to do from this point. Remember how to construct 90. You have to mark 2 arcs, then those 2 arcs open more than half of the line. Okay, so just open more than half of the line, construct an arc on top. Okay, then another arc below, but yet because we've got a reference point, there's no need for us to construct another arc below. Already the reference point is there, so we just have to work with that reference point. All right, so like this, we can join to the reference point. All right, so that will be our 90 degrees in this case. All right, so that's something like this. All right, so by joining, I'm having an angle of 90 degrees here. All right, but now all we know is that from this 90 degrees that we have at A, we are supposed to have 5,2 from A. That is what we know. Okay, anyway, so let us measure 5,2. According to me, that's my 5,2, this one. So I'm going to mark 5,2. So you're going to mark that 5,2 on your, using your compass there that you've measured. Okay, like this. After marking this, that means you've got your point D at this point here, which is 5,2 from what? From A. But how are we going to have the point C? Since we do not have, if we are given the distance from B to C, but take note, we do not have this distance from B to C. We do not have that. We are going to take this advantage now to say, since these two lines are parallel, we said this angle is going to be also 90 degrees. So I'm simply going to construct 90 degrees at D. That 90 degrees is going to meet this line at point C. So these are some of the extra adjustments that you're supposed to take in exam. So this one, we are going to construct 90 degrees from point D. Remember how you constructed 90? You have to mark 2 points, one on the other side and the other one on the other side. Then from these 2 points, open more than half. So I'm going to open from this point more than half. Construct an arc above. Since I want it to be this side, so I just have to construct on that side. There's no need for us to have it on the other end, guys, because actually here we are given another piece that we have. So that one is not a matter of worry. We also have the reference point here. So I'm going to construct here. So these two arcs must join at that point. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. As you can see, these two arcs, they meet at a certain point. Where these two arcs meet, that's where we are going to join now these two arcs with D now. So that's why I'm saying D is your reference point. So by just joining these two, we have created a line which is parallel to this line AB. These two lines, they'll be definitely parallel because this angle is 90, this angle is 90. And so that means this will be our point C at this point here. We are now having our C. So that's how you simply construct a trapezium, guys, from the information that you're, depending with the information that you're given, but according to this one that we're given, that is what it was going to look like. Okay, anyways, let us see the other part of the question. We have constructed the trapezium. What now follows? Okay, so that was actually 6 marks. Yes, actually it deserves 3 marks, this trapezium. Okay, it actually deserves 6 marks. Okay, so let's see the other part of the question now. Construct the bisector of ABC. So the bisector of ABC, that is your bisecting angle. We are dividing ABC into 3 quarters. So guys, I talked about bisecting an angle. So let us go to B, ABC. We bisect that angle B. All right, let's see. This is our angle B here of 120. So remember, to bisect an angle, you mark with two arcs on the lines which are creating that angle B. It's created by CD and BA. So we're going to mark an arc on CD. You mark another arc on BA here. All right. From those arcs, without changing the length that is on your compass, without changing that length, mark an arc in within the region where you expect to have an angle 60, that is alongside this region here. Then also on the other side, you do the same. Where you expect it to be, definitely they are going to meet at a certain point. Those arcs, they will meet at a certain point like this. Where these two arcs meet, you are supposed to join them. Okay, so you're going to join the two arcs here. So by joining these two arcs, we have created or we have bisected this angle. That means we are having an angle of 60 degrees, 60. But the question is for you to bisect, just bisect, do not indicate anything on this part. You are just supposed to bisect, full stop. So that was the idea of the question. I hope we are actually together on this one. Let us see the other part. Describe the locus of points that the bisector of ABC that you have represents, guys. I talked about the locus, which talks about bisecting an angle. That one, even without looking at the diagram, we can even describe from here, from this, we are bisecting an angle. So this one, it is the locus. Remember, it is the locus of points equidistant from the given lines. Equidistant, equidistant, it is locus of points equidistant from the given lines. So the given lines is what? AB. So we're going to take the first line here from AB, and the other line is BC. So that's how you describe this. So the lines that create A, B, C, it's A, B, and BC. Just it. So if it is given as D, B, whatever that you be given in this case, maybe it's B, DC. You are bisecting this angle, so it's going to be line BD and DC. That's the concept. Okay, so anyways, I just hope we understand here. Then the other part, measure and write down the length of BC. So you measure it, then you write it on your answer here. That is what you're supposed to try. That's why they are giving you to measure and write down the length of BC. So that's what you simply have from B to C. So we are going to measure here. Let us see what you're going to have. All right, that's B to C. B to C here, that's B to C. Okay, so somewhere here direct. Okay, that's my C here. Okay, so let us see what I'm having here. I'm having 6 centimeters. Okay, so according to me, that one was 6 centimeters. So I don't know what you are obtaining from your diagram, but from me here, I'm obtaining 6 centimeters. Okay, that is to measure. Then you have to write it down. That's what the person is saying, actually asking us to do. All right, so the section B part, now we are given question 6, that's first part, solve the equation below. So here we are given 3 to the power of k, which is equal to 81 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 11. So on this one, guys, we have to just write in terms of the same base. That is the only way that you can actually solve these typical questions. We are supposed to write in the base that is the same. Which base are we talking about? We are referring to the base of 3. That is the easiest base that was common throughout here. So what am I going to do? 81, I was to ask myself that 81 is 3 to the power of what, which gives us 81. So it's a matter of you also knowing your powers, guys. Or it's paper 1, you can actually work with as an advantage. You can try from your calculator, but this one is going to be 81 is 3 to the power of what? 3 to the power of 4, which gives us 81. So what does it mean? I'm going to write this 81 as 3 to the power of 4, but already there's a power of 2, which is already there. So this to the power of 4 to the power of 2. Remember, a power and a power, they multiply each other. So it's 4 times 2, which is 8. All right, so you can rewrite this as 3 to the power of k, which is equal to 3 to the power of 8 times 3 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 11. Remember the concept, guys. If you are multiplying the bases, you are the same, you add the powers. So this is going to be 3 to the power of k is here. We are multiplying the bases are the same, so you add the powers. So it's going to be 8 plus 5, which is 13. So it's 3 to the power of 13 over 3 to the power of 11. Here we are dividing. So what do? We subtract the powers. So it's 3 to the power of k, which is equal to 3 to the power of 13 minus 11, which is going to give us 2. So 3 to the power of k is equal to 3 to the power of 2. What does that part mean? The bases, if they are the same, definitely the powers are the same. So therefore, our k is going to be equal to 2. So that was the idea of the question. All right, the B part, factorize completely. We are given to factorize. That's 6y squared minus 10y plus 4. So how do I factorize this? Actually, I can start by cross-checking. Do I have anything that is common? Yes, 2 is common, so I can start by factoring out 2. 6 divided by 2, that is 3y squared minus 5y plus 2. Then from there, I have to do the longer way of factorizing my 3y squared minus 5y plus 2, which is remaining. How do I factorize this? Multiply the first term and the last term. We are going to obtain 6y squared. What are the two factors that we need? If you multiply these two factors, they must give us 6y squared, but if you add, these should give us -5. What are these factors that you're talking about? We've got -3 and -2. If we multiply this, we get +6. If we add, we get -5. So these are the terms that you're going to replace in the middle term, which is -3y minus 2y plus 2. So by factoring out 3y, which is common for the first two terms, you're going to remain with y minus 1. So in order for us to remain with y minus 1 from these two terms that we have, we are going to factor out -2 so that this can be a positive. Negative and negative becomes a positive. 2 divided by -2, that is -1. So that means we've got the brackets, which are the same. So therefore, you're going to have 2 into, from these brackets, which are the same, we've got y minus 1. Then here we are remaining with 3y minus 2. So we're going to remain with 3y minus 2. So that was the consideration of the question. As you can see, it's a little bit direct. Just a matter of revision, guys. Okay, factorize again completely. We are given ax plus b plus a plus bx. Remember, I told you guys here we are supposed to work by grouping. If you can see, there's nothing common between the first two terms, so we're going to do it by grouping. So you can take the terms with a together, that is ax plus a, then the terms with b together, it's going to be bx plus what? Plus b, just x also. So on the first two terms, what do we have that is common? It's a, that is common, so you can factor out ax and a, that's x plus a divided by a, that is 1. Plus here we can factor out b, which is common, is going to be x plus 1. So the two brackets are common, so we're going to have x plus 1 into a plus b. Okay, so that is what we had, just 2 marks for that. So I think it's pretty clear. This one, let us see the other part also, what we are given. The C part is express this as a single fraction in its lowest terms. Okay, so here, guys, a matter of your factorization, the denominator, so that you can be able to find the LCD here. So it's 6 over x is common here, so you can actually factor out x. If you factor out x, you're going to remain with 2 minus x squared, and x is going to be x minus 3 over x. So from there, we have to find the LCM or the LCD of x, 2 minus x, and x. So x is common, you don't repeat it. We are going to have 2 minus x. So let's divide. LCM divide by this. As you can see, these are the same, so it's just going to cancel. You get 1. 1 times 6, which is 6, minus x and x cancel, which means you're going to remain with 2 minus x. So you multiply to 2 minus x. Just opening a bracket actually can help. Okay, so expand the brackets. You're going to have -3 by 2, which is -6. -3 by -x, which is +3x. Okay, everything over x into 2 minus x. So from there, 6 minus 6, that's a 0 here. So you're going to have 3x over x into 2 minus x. All right, so that's what we're having, but we can see that the x and the x is common, so you can cancel here. X and x is common, so therefore our answer is going to be 3 over 2 minus x. All right, so that is what you're going to obtain in this case. As you can see, it was pretty clear also. The D part, we are given that P varies directly as t to the exponent of -3. This one is an inverse variable, so it's negative anyways. Okay, then you're given the value of P here, which is equal to 4 when t is equal to 2. So find a formula connecting P and T. Okay, we need a formula that is going to connect P and T. Guys, this is actually an inverse variation, because you can write it like this. P varies from the exponent of negative exponent. Remember, how do you remove a negative? It's 1 over. So this is going to be 1 over t to the exponent of 3. So from this part, we can introduce the constant P is equal to k over t to the exponent of 3. So this is an equation which connects p, t, and k. But we need the one that is going to connect p and t. So we have to find the value of k. From this information, we've got p, we have got t. So it means p is 4. So 4 is equivalent to k. over t to the exponent of 3. That's 2 to the exponent of 3. All right, so from this part, 4 is equal to k over 2 to the power of 3, which is actually 8. That's 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times, okay, which is 8. So you can cross multiply to find the value of k. So 1 times k, yes, k is equal to 4 times 8, which is 32. So it means, or it follows that p is equal to 32 over t to the power of 3. So this is the equation which connects p and t. The p is equivalent to 32 over t to the power of what? T to the power of 3. So you can actually write it like that. It's fine actually that way. All right, anyways, you can write as a negative exponent is fine because it's up to you guys. It's up to you, the way that you understand much better. Now from that part that you are given, p is 4 when t is half. Find the value of t when p is a half. All right. Here we are given another condition, guys. If you are to cross check here, we are given that p is 4 when t is a 2. Is it the same way? I want to cross check from the previous one that we had where this. Okay, these were the same values that were given here, guys. If you are to cross check here, p is 4, t is 2. These were the same values that were given. So it means we are still using the same information that we had before this one. So using this same information, it means it's a continuation because already we have got the value of k. So we are going to continue from this. P is equal to, all right, let me reduce a little bit. P is equal to 32 over t to the power of 3, because this is the information that gave us this 32. So you don't repeat to calculate that, no. So the question is find t when p is 1.5. So you're given p is 1.5. So 1 over 2 is equal to 32 over t to the power of 3. So how can we find t, guys? Let us cross multiply to remove the fraction. Here you can cross multiply. That's 1 times t cubed, which is t cubed is equal to 2 times 32, which is 64. So how do you remove the cube? Here we are given the cube. We remove that by introducing the cube root both sides. The opposite of the power that you have is 3. So you introduce that. So that means you can have the value of t, which is the cube root of 64, which is 4. So this is a number that is multiplying itself 3 times, so that it gives us 64. Which number is that one? That is 4. So that was the idea of the question there. So please, guys, please understand the questions that you're given. Okay. During a sale, all prices were reduced by 15%. That is number 7. So in this case, a jacket was bought for $55. Calculate the original price of the jacket. Okay, this is a reduction which has taken place. Remember, guys, I told you everything has to be taken from 100%. So at 100%, that is where we have got the original price, the one that we do not know. But after a sale, it was reduced by 50. To reduce is to subtract from 100%. You subtract 15%. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, sorry for that, guys. Okay, something like this. So from 100%, you're going to subtract the 15%, which is 100% minus 15. You're going to be left with 85. So at 85%, that's where this jacket is costing this price of $55. So what was the original price that is at 100%? Definitely it was costing more. So it was 100 over 85 times $55, just like that. So you can have this. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening. Okay, it's fine. 100 over 85 here, 100 over 85, whatever that you get here, we multiply to $55. Okay, so that's what you're going to have as a decimal, 64,705. So to remember, this is money, so you're supposed to give your answers to one decimal place. So to one decimal place, this 5 is going to change this 0 into 1, so it's going to be $64,71. So that was the actual price, or the original price, before a decrease or a reduction. All right, that's what we had. An extract from Mrs. That's Miss Neto's bank statement. Okay, I don't know the but that is what we're given. Okay, for the month of May is shown in the table below this one. That is where information was displayed. These are the details. 010527, that is the first month of May. The balance brought forward, which means she had a balance from the previous month, which is written as BF. This is the balance brought forward of $10. The salary is $402. Then we've got 412 at the end, which means we're just adding this one to what she had. Bank charges, there's 1% on current account balance. So that is what we have. There's a 1% on the current balance. Then there's the account on current account balance. Then we've got Y there, then Z or the withdrawal. So this is withdrawal. Then we ended up with this. Okay, the first question is calculate X. So this X that we see here, that's a debit account, this one, which is going to be affected on the 1% of the amount that we see of for this one, $412. So that is our X is going to be 1% of the current amount, which is $412. Because remember, it was 402. Now, because of the balance, we are now having $412. So that is why we are using that as our 1% off. But remember, 1% means what? 1 over 100 times $412. As you can see, 2 is going to be $4.12, or you can use your calculator. Still, you're going to obtain $4.12. Okay, so that was the value of X. Let us see the other part of the question from the same table. Now we are given to, okay, let's see. Calculate the value of Y, that is item 2, then Z. Okay, so item 2 is Y. So how are we going to find the value of Y? This one is a debit, which was made. So how do you operate with a debit? That is the question. Are you going to add your debit, or are you going to subtract your debit? Okay. So this one, we are going to subtract from our debit account, guys. This one, I want you to see what happened. If you sometimes you struggle, you can analyze most, maybe you're not doing accounts or accounting, whatever that you are doing. Here you can subtract what happened to the credit account here. It added, it was 402, then we added. So definitely this here in the debit has to subtract, this has to add. So you can analyze somehow from the diagram that you're given. Okay, anyways, that was our item 2. So our item 2, Y is going to be the difference between this amount with the X, because we obtained X. So it's $412 minus $4.12. So you're going to subtract. Okay, this is going to give us what? 412 minus 4.12 minus 4.12. That's something like 407.88. Okay, so we are going to obtain $407.88. Okay, then the Z here, what is going to be Z? Z is a withdrawal. So guys, take note what happened here. Guys, take note what happened. We had to withdraw a certain amount from this Y here. We withdrawn Z and we got this amount. So you can simply say from this 400, and this was item 3 now. All right, so to find Z, we say from the $407.88 that we had to subtract Z here and obtained $292.88. So how much did we withdraw here, which is Z? So Z is going to be 407.88 minus 292.88. This will be your Z, because you're going to transpose to this side. Okay, so this is the amount that is going to correspond with the Z. I think, okay, that was direct, so it's going to be $115, or you can write it as $115 like that. Okay, so that was your Z. In this case, guys, you just subtract from your calculator direct. Then let us see the other part. Omega decides to invest a pension of $600. So this is another guy who wants to invest the money for the pension of $600. She can invest it in a bank that offers 4% per year, simple interest Option B, she can invest in a money market fund that offers 4% per year compound interest. So these are the two things that are the decisions which are on the ground. Okay, the first one, calculate Omega's interest under option A. So that is the person at the end of 3 years. So this is what we are given, guys. This is what simple interest, the first option under option A. Option A is simple interest. So under simple interest, that's where you use your formula direct, because you know that interest is direct equal to principal times rate times time over 100. So that is the principal, the money invested. She wants to invest how much? $600. So it's 600 times the rate, which is 4%, times the time now at the end of 3 years over 100. All right, so from this part, we can actually simplify everything. Here is going to be a fraction, 600 by 4 by 3 over 100. Okay, so this is going to give us $72. So she can get an interest of $72. Okay. Let's see the item 2 now from the same information. Okay, let's get our item 2. All right, on the item 2, you're asked to calculate the interest on Omega. So after using the option B, okay, guys, I told you if you cross-checked the other videos that I did, I think it was actually the June 2019, I explained when I did the question on compound interest, I also explained this part to say, under compound interest, the formula, it gives you the amount, the total amount after investment, which is P into 1 plus I to the exponent of n. This formula, it gives you the total amount. It doesn't give you the interest. This one, for its interest is equal to PRT over, it gives you direct the interest, but here you do not get the interest direct. So how do you find the interest? And I told you that the interest is equivalent to the amount minus the principal. This is not the interest rate. We are talking about interest, the money that you're going to have as a gain from the one that you invested. So you're going to say the amount, because this A is the total amount after your investment minus that money that you invested, which is what? Which is the principal. The principal is the money that you invest. Okay, so what does it mean? We are supposed to calculate the amount first, because the principal already are given that this girl or this guy she had to save or to invest $600 a year, which is that is what we have. Okay, so we have to find the amount first for this 4% for the 3 years that we talked about. So remember our formula. So we're going to calculate A first. So the amount is going to be equal to the principal, which was 600, the money invested into 1 plus the interest rate. Remember, the two were having same interest rate of 4%, which is as a decimal. It's 4 over 100, or you can write it as a decimal, which is 0, whatever that you have, but it's 4 over 100 to the power of n, which is the number of years, which is 3. All right, so from this part, we can have 600 into 1 plus 4 over 100 is going to give us 1,04. Okay, so this is 1,04, 1,04 to the power of 3. Okay, so what are we going to get here? 600 times 1,04. This is 1,04 to the power of 3, like this. All right, so we are going to obtain 674,92 to 2 decimal places, because we are talking about money here. So it's 92674. So it's going to be $674.92. This is the total amount, the total amount after the investment. Therefore, the interest now is going to be that total amount of 674, the total amount now of 674.92 minus the principal, which is the amount that she invested of $600. So we're going to subtract this $600 now. So as you can see, 6 and 6 cancel. Here is going to be $74.92. So this becomes the interest. All right, so that was it, guys. Let us cross-check the other part of the question. calculate the difference between the amounts of interest from the two options. So here's just a difference, guys. The first one, what did we get from the first one? Here we got an interest of 72. Then from the other one, it was 79.9. So 74. So we're going to subtract the smaller one from the bigger one. Okay, so the bigger one is this one that we have here of 74.92. So you just need the difference there. 74.92 minus the smaller one, which was the 72 that we got first here. So we're going to subtract that 72 from the 74.92. So this is going to, okay, sorry, this one, the 72. So you subtract it from the first one, and this is going to give us 7 and 7. It's going to be 2.92. Yeah, that was 2.92, guys, as you can see. All right, so that is what we are going to have from this part. Okay, this is actually the last part that we have. All right, number 8, we are given a formula. From that formula, actually, it's given as A is equal to, this is A is equal to H into 12 plus B into a bracket over 2. So the question, find the value of A when B is this one, guys, just substitute into the formula. Do not waste marks on this type of a question. You are simply substituting. What are you supposed to obtain here? The value of A. Okay, so this is your A. A is equal to H. Your H is what? Is 0.8. So this is 0.8 into 12 plus B. The B is what? Is 1.5. This part is everything with this information. So make sure that you substitute your information properly, and after that you can actually simplify your question. That's here is going to give us 0.8 times 12 plus 1.5 is 13.5. So it's 13.5 over 2. So that means we can simplify here 0.8 times 13.5, which is 10.8. So you're going to obtain 10.8 over 2, which is 5.4, if I'm not mistaken there. All right. Then express H in terms of A. So this is H in terms of A, meaning to say, make H to be the subject of the formula. From this formula that you are given, remember, we are given that A is equal to H into 12 plus B over 2. Now make H to be the subject. That is the question. So how are you going to make H to be the subject? We can cross multiply here. This is 2A is equal to H into 12 plus B. So guys, you've cross multiplied. Instead of you expanding brackets, H is already out of the brackets. So what are you going to do? Divide by that bracket, you're done. Divide by 12 plus B, divide by 12 plus B, you're done. So that means our H is going to be 2A over 12 plus B. So this is a high time for you guys to understand questions, how they can be given and how to answer those questions. All right, anyways, let us see the B part. Solving triangles, that's what we are given here. So this information we are given, this triangle, and these are the sides that you are given. This is X here. This is 2X from this triangle. So let's see the questions now. So what do we have? Sorry, form an equation and show that it reduces to 3x squared minus 4x minus 16 is equal to 0. How can you formulate an equation? This question is very, very familiar to the 2014 paper. It was actually paper 1. November 2014 or June 2014 was actually familiar with this one, where you were given a non-rectangle triangle, just like this that we have, with also 120, and they give you all the sides. Like this, guys, you can ask yourself to say, what was the consideration if I wanted to calculate this side? Let's say this side is not there, the 2x here, it's not there. Let's say it's not there. I want to erase it like this. How are you supposed to calculate this side? Let's say you are given these two sides and you want to calculate the third side, this one. How are you going to calculate it? You're going to use the cosine rule, which says that a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of what? Cos of a. Whereby the b and c, these are just the sides which are creating the angle that you're given, which is referred to here as cos, as what? As 20 degrees. So I want you to see what was going to happen. we are going to have AC squared. Let's say it was not there. So it was going to be AC squared is equal to the sides which were creating the angle in that case of 120, and these sides is 4 and x. I want you to see this. I want us to follow each other. So it's going to be 4 squared plus x squared. All right, so let's see. Okay, so it's going to be 4 squared plus x squared. These are the sides that we have referred, and the angle which was between of 120. So it's going to be minus 2 times those sides, because remember it's supposed to be minus 2 BC from this one, 2AB. Remember we had a squared plus b squared minus 2AB cos A here. So minus 2 BC, those ones, they are just going to multiply each other the same way. So it's 4 and 2. So it's 4 and x, sorry, cos of what? 120 degrees. This is the formula that we're supposed to use to find AC if it was not there. But this time, what is happening? We are not asked to find this side. It's already there. This part AC, we have it. This AC is 2x. So in place of AC, we are going to substitute 2x. But I want you to see what is happening. AC is 2x. But what do we have here? This is AC squared. So we are going to substitute our 2x being squared like this. So we have formulated an equation. From that equation, it's up to you now. You have to simplify until you get that part that you're given. So, okay, let us simplify. 2x squared, 2 squared, that's 4x squared is equal to 4 squared, that's 16, plus x squared minus 2 times 4 times x is going to be 2 times 4, that's 8x by cos 120. This one you can use your calculator. Cos 120 degrees, which is negative half or negative 0.5. So this one you're going to multiply by negative 0.5, okay? 4x squared is equivalent to 16 plus x squared, negative 8 by negative 0.5. You can use your calculator here. All right, you can just use your calculator. Negative 0.5 by negative 8. This gives us positive 4. So which means we're going to obtain positive 4x. Now we have an equation, a quadratic equation, so you can transpose all the terms to the left-hand side, which is going to be 4x squared minus x squared. If you transpose the 4x, is going to be minus 4x. The 16 to this side is going to be minus 16, so that one of the sides is equal to 0. So what we have at the end, this is just same as 1 here. So it's 4 minus 1, which is 3x squared, minus 4x, minus 16, which is equal to 0. So as you can see, this is the equation that we are being asked to formulate and show that it reduces to. All right. So normally from that equation, definitely they'll ask you to solve that equation. That one is it's a normal thing that you're supposed to expect to have. And whenever they say give this answer to 3 decimal places, it means I have to use nothing here but the quadratic formula. Is this a plus or it's a minus, guys? All right, this is a minus that we are given here. Show that it reduces to. Then now the question is solve the equation. This one is actually, I don't know what we are, because sometimes they can just make some error of a typing error, something like that. But what do you do now when it's something like this? You have to solve the way that they've given you here. But this was supposed to be negative 16 because it's actually a continuation from that equation that you had. Okay, so anyways, let's see what you're going to have. If we are to solve this as negative 16, but here there's a plus. That's what I'm saying. You have to work with the equation that you're given, but it was actually a continuation, this one, guys. So I'm going to work with the one that we obtained from the previous question. Okay, so x is equivalent to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in this case, we've got our a, which is equal to 3, our b, which is negative 4, our c, which is negative 16. So you can substitute in the formula x is equal to minus b, which is negative 4. So it's negative 4 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3 times c, which is negative 16. Everything over 2 times a, our a, which is 3. All right. So from this part, we are going to have at the end, that's negative and negative, which is a plus. So it's going to be 4 plus or minus the square root of. So you just simplify this part under the square root alone. So that's negative 4 squared. All right. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 16, like this. All right, so it was going to give us 208. That's 208 here over 6. All right, I want you to see something here. If you were to use that number as it was going to be like this, 16. I want you to see it was going to be a square root of a negative, and there's no square root of a negative answer like this. So it was an error, that one. So this one was actually an error, this one that we are given here. So this one is actually an error there. All right. So anyways, that is what we are going to have. So from this part, separate the square root from plus or minus. So it's going to be x, which is 4 plus square root of 208 over 6. Or another one is going to be x, which is equal to minus, sorry, that's a 4, but minus now from this plus or minus, the other one is going to be a minus square root of 208 over, all right, over 6. All right, so that's what you're going to have. So everything now from your calculator, use your calculator, guys. Let your calculator assist you. So just open a bracket. If you're using DAL, then you write everything as it is, square root of 208. Then after that, don't forget to close that bracket so that you can divide by 6. All right, this is going to give us 3,07, whatever that you have. But remember your answer to two decimal places, actually, that's what you're given. To 3 significant, what were you given? Let us get back to our question. 3 significant figures. All right, so that was to 3SF. So this one is going to be 3SF, 1, 2, 3. This 0 cannot change this 7, so it's going to be 3,07. But I told you guys, write everything as it is up to the last digit. Or the other x is going to be here. We just have to put a subtraction sign here. That's a negative, which is going to be negative 1,737, something like that. So this is going to be 7, 4. So it's going to be negative 1,74 to 3SF. So that's 5 marks for the quadratic formula or completing the square. So you can use completing the square, or you can use quadratic formula. Just depends with the one that you are best at. All right, so the other part now is question number 9, which is actually part of statistics. So there we are given to find the value of x from this information. So to find the value of x, guys, we can work with the angles that we are given, because we know that angles at this point should add up to 360 degrees. So it's actually an advantage because this is 90, this is 90. So we're going to just add x plus 90 plus 90 plus 120 degrees should give us 360 degrees, like that. So that is our item A. So 90 plus 90 plus 120, what we have, so it's just 180 plus 120, 180 plus 120, which is 300. So it's x plus 300 degrees, which is equal to 360. So x is equal to what? 360 minus 300, which is 60 degrees. Okay, so that was our x in this case. So it means here we have got 60 degrees here. Okay, this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees. Okay, that is what we had from this part. Now the question is, from the information that we get, the table below shows the information contained in a pie chart. Okay, from 0 to t, this is the time. The frequency is what? Is 80. What about from t to 4? Okay, here what are you given from 0 to 2? Let us cross check. From 0 to 2, you're given an angle of 120. So that one is a simple proportion that you're going to use in this case. This one is a simple proportion to say, since an angle of 120 degrees, which is this one of 0 to 2, that is 120. It corresponds with how many people? We are given that it corresponds with the 80 people here as our frequency. So this one corresponds with 80. So it's going to be like that throughout. You're going to use that proportion to answer the other questions where you're given to calculate now or to find the value of P, Q, R. We are simply saying, okay, for P, we are talking about from 2 to 4. Let us get from 2 to 4. From 2 to 4 here, we had an angle of what? 90 degrees. So we're now asking ourselves to say, what is the equivalent of 90 degrees? We do not know. So it's going to be less. So as you can see, 90 over 120 multiplied by what? By 80. We can have this one. So it's 90 over 120, 90 over 120 by 80. Remember, we're multiplying to 80. which is going to give us 60. So here we've got 60 people which are in this case. So here, if there are 60, it means also here it's 60 because this is 90, 90. All right, so we have got 60 there on P. So this P here is going to be 60. All right, 60 here. But remember, P, which is of 2 to 4, it corresponds with that. 2 to 4 corresponds with 6 to 8. So for 6 to 8 also is the same. 6 to 8 here is the same. It's also 60. All right, what about Q? For Q now, we are going back for this Q. Let us get back to our deck. We can use this proportion. Since there are 240 people, we can subtract, or you can use again this proportion to say, if truly 120 corresponds to 80, what about 60? 60 is half of 120. So it's simply half of 80, which is 40. So that one is going to be 40 here, if I'm not mistaken. So this one must correspond. Remember, we said we've got how many people, all of them. Let us cross-check. We said we've got 240 people. So if we add this, it must give us 240. 80 plus 60 plus 60 plus 40. Okay, we skipped a 40 there. That's 240. So truly, that means our numbers are fine in this case. Okay, so anyways, let's see the other part now. So it was find the value of P, Q, R. So this one are there. Then calculate and estimate mean time spent on charity work. Okay, so what is the mean? Guys, whenever you're dealing with mean, the first thing that you're supposed to think of, this is a grouped information, the one that you're given here. From 0 to 2, this is grouped from this class to this class. Work with class centers. So you're going to find the class centers from 0 to 1. Remember, I told you guys, class center is simply the lower class plus upper class divided by 2. So you add 0 plus 2 divided by 2. So we are just going to calculate it here. This is item what? Item C. So I'm just going to calculate it here using this table direct so that you can understand me. All right, so this is what you're going to have here. You have to find the class center here. So you add 0 plus 2 divided by 2 is 1 here. You do the same 2 plus 4, that is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. 4 plus 6, which is 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Here is 14, which is 7. So you find the class centers. Remember that your mean, so this was actually item C. Remember that the mean is equivalent to the class center, which corresponds with the frequency. You multiply to the frequency, class center by, until the last one, you multiply class center by frequency over the total frequency. So the first one, we say the class center is 1, so it's 1 by 80 plus the other one is 3 by 60. So it's 3 by 60 here, plus the other one is 5 by 40. So it's 5 by 40 here. The other one is 7 by 60. 7 by 60. All right, so this one is 7 by 60. Everything over the total frequency. So the total frequency now is the one that we are given of 240 people. So you divide by 240. Instead of adding again, you just divide by 240. Okay, so guys, I want you to multiply everything, then divide. Okay, let's just do it. It's going to be 80 plus 3 by 60, that's 180, plus 5 by 40, 2, 8. What are you going to have there? 200. Because it's 20 here, so it's 200. Then here it's 42, which is 420. All right, then we can divide by the total of 240. So add everything on your calculator. That's 80. 80 plus 180 plus 200 plus 420. All right, plus here 400. These are some of the mistakes that we do in exam. Okay, anyways, this is 880 over 240 like this. So if we divide this to 240, what are we going to get? We are going to get 11 over 3 or 3,666 like that. 3,66666 like that. So it's gonna depend to 3,6 to 3 decimal 3SF is 1, 2, 3. This 6 is going to change that into 3,67. So that was it, or you can write it, I don't know, in any other way that is best for you. Okay, but that is what we actually had from this part. Okay, anyways, let us see the other part now. After the mean, I think this part is done. All right, so That was the mean, which is 3 marks for that. Okay, anyways, that was it, guys. Now we are asked to draw the frequency polygon to show the information on this page that you are given. So here, guys, we are supposed to have our frequency polygon. So I'm given the scale, so I've done the part here. So we're just going to draw our frequency polygon on this part here, so it can be. All right, so here I'm going to use this table. So this is the table that you're going to work with actually. So what you need, guys, this is a frequency polygon that you're given, and we know that we are going to use the frequency densities in order for us to have our frequency polygon. So what are we going to have? Let us get back to this information. Here, let us get back to this information here. According to the layout that we have, this will be where we are going to find our class centers. We are going to find our class centers in between. Then here, we are going to need the frequency density here. We need the frequency density. Okay, so that means for us to have the frequency density, we can actually calculate from our formulas. So let us just put it this way on this one. I think it can help us have our frequency densities. So you can just have our frequency densities here. So remember that frequency density is just the frequency over the class width. So that's what you're going to have in this case, frequency over class width. That's the frequency density, frequency over the class width. Remember I told you the class width is actually the difference 2 minus 0. So you're simply dividing frequency of 80 divide by 2 minus, which is 2, so it's going to give us 40 here. The same thing here, 60 divided by 2, it's going to be 4 minus 2, which is 2, is going to be 30. 40 here divided by 2, which is going to be 20. 60 by 2 again, which is 30. So these are the frequency densities that I'm talking about here. Okay, so that's how actually you have your frequency polygon. Okay, so let us get back to our part here. So we said the first one is 1 versus what here? 1 versus 60. 1 versus 40 now. Okay, so it's going to be 1 versus 40. Okay, that's 40 somewhere here. So 1 is in between, that's here, 1 and 40. You mark your point. Remember, guys, a frequency polygon is just like a straight line. It follows the same concept of a straight line. So you mark points, then you join them. 3 versus what? 3 versus 30. Class center is 3. The frequency is 30. So it's 3 in between here versus 30. So that is 3 versus 30. We move on to the another one. That's 5 versus 20. Okay, so we've got 5 versus 20. 5 here versus 20. And the other one is, which is our last one in this case, it's 7 versus 30. Okay, so it's 7 versus 30, 7 versus 30 here. But remember, it's a frequency polygon. It has to start from the ground. So here you're going to find in between these both. Okay, let me join first so that it can make sense if I'm having it from the diagram, what it was supposed to look like. So you remember your frequency polygon, guys, just like straight line graph, you have to join using your ruler. So you're going to join these points, but there's something that is going to happen. As you can see, your graph is going to start from the top like this, from this point to this point. Then you join. So you're actually joining all the points, then this one to this one. And then from this one to this one again, like that. All right, so these were the necessary points actually that we had. Now something is happening. This frequency polygon is starting from the top, also ending at the top. So what do? You find the distance in between. This is 1 here, it corresponds to this point. So what is the distance between 0 and 1? So you're going to calculate it's in between 2,5. So between 2,5, you join your graph to the ground. Also, between the last 2 points here, this is 7 versus 9, it's 1, 2.5 box. So you join to the ground so that this graph starts from the ground and it ends on the ground also. So it's going to be like this. I just hope, okay, guys, I need to rotate this side here like this. So at the ground here, somewhere this point, so we just join to that point. Okay, somewhere here. That's how it was supposed to look like. So you just join the last part here to the ground. Okay, from the last part, where is our ground here? Okay, the last part to the ground. You do the same also on that section that you have here, the last part to the ground, just at that point that I showed you here, that point exactly. So you join the two from this point to the ground also. Now you are having a completed frequency polygon like this. So those points are not supposed to be suspended like that. They are supposed to be joined down to the ground. Okay, anyways, that's what we had from that part. Now on the other part, it was actually the E. Two people you choose at random from the whole group. Find the probability that they both spend they spend more than 4 hours doing charity. Take note, we're talking about two students. We're going back to that diagram that way. So this is item E. All right, so I'm just going to do our item E here. So take note, we talked about two people and they have to spend more than 4 hours, which means I talk about here more than 4. This 40 and this 60. So 40 plus 60, they are 100. So to pick the first one is 100 over the total, which was 240. Then the moment we pick the second one, it's no longer 240 that we are talking about. We are now, it's no longer 100, but it's now 99 out of 239. So that's what you're going to have in this case. So it's 100 over 240. 100 over 240, whatever that we get, we multiply to 99 over 239. So that's it. We are going to obtain 165 over 956 over 956. So that was the probability on E there. All right, so I think it's clear, guys. Let's move on to the other question. So here is actually an equation table so that we are going to work with. Let me just write equation again. It's y. Okay, let me just put it this way. So, okay, I'm still on the eraser mode. That's pen mode. Okay, so this is y, which is equal to x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4. So these papers, I don't know how it was scanned, but you just have to work with it. Okay, anyways, the first part, yes, find the value of p. So p is here, where x is 3. So guys, I told you that one is a simple substitution. Y is equal to 3 to the power of 3 minus 4x, which is 3 to the power of 2 plus 4. All right, so on your calculator, all these values can be simplified. 3 to the power of 3 minus 4 into 3 to the power of 2. Whatever that we get here, we add 4. And this will give us -5. So we're going to get -5 here. So P is -5. So here we've got -5. So draw the graph of f of x on the grid below on page 26, okay? Use a scale of 2 centimeters with 1 unit on both axes, which means both the x and the y, they're going to use 2 centimeters to 1 unit, just like what we are given here. So we're going to mark the points, guys. I hope we saw the points. I'm just going to mark direct. The first one was -1 and -1. So it's going to be -1 and -1. All right, the other one was -0,5, -0,5 and 2,9. So -0,5 is between here and 2,9. This is 2. 9 is just one box below 3 because each box represents 0,1, 0,1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 1. So each box is 1. All right. Then the other one was 0 versus 4. So this is going to be 0 here versus 4, mark our point. The other one, it was 0,5 and 3,1. So this is 3 here, 1, just one box. All right. 1 versus 1. So this is 1 versus 1 here. The other one, 1,5 and minus 1,6. 1,5 in between here and minus 1,6. This is minus 1,5, 1,6 here, just one box. All right, 2 and -4. All right, we've got 2 versus -4. Okay, that's down here. 2 versus -4. That's our 2 and our -4 somewhere here. And the other one, 2,5 and -5,4. 2,5 and -5,4. This is -5,4 somewhere here. Okay. Then the other one is 3 versus P. Remember, our P was -5. So it's going to be 3 versus -5, which is somewhere here. 3 versus -5. That was our 3 there. No, this is 3 here at this point. All right, so 3 is this one. This one. All right. Then 3,25 and -2,1. 3,25 and -2,1. So let us mark -2,1 first. -2,1, it's here. 3,25, we're going to have 3,1, 3,2. 3,25 is in between 3,2 and 3,3, somewhere there. And the other one was 4 versus 4. That was 4 here versus 4 on top there. All right, so this is a cubic function, guys, as we know. So we are supposed to draw our graph joining all the points in a nicer way. So at these points, they are too far from each other. Anyways, let us see what we're going to have. So remember, we started with 1 and -1 here. 1 and -1 up to 3. So we're going to join up to this point. All right, then from this point to 4 to this point. So just make sure that you draw a smooth curve. Then it was 1,5 to -1 at this point. Join this one. All right, we must have a curve at this point. Then we get back again. Okay, we are now going back on top. All right, so these points are actually too far from each other. So that's why our graph is kind of like this, guys. But you are supposed to have a smooth curve, guys. This last part, is actually something else. But I hope you guys can actually draw something which is nicer and smoother than the one that I'm having here. Here, I'm just giving you like a glimpse idea of what you're supposed to have, and then the rest you can do much better. Okay, so this was supposed to be your graph, and you write down the equation. Y is equal to, remember, it was x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4. That's a cubic function, a cubic graph, actually, that you're having there. Okay, so with the graph that you are having, let us see the questions now that you are given. So the first question is, from this graph, use the graph to find the coordinates of the minimum turning point of the graph. Okay, so the coordinates of the minimum turning point, that's where our graph is minimum here. Remember, this is your maximum on top there. That's your maximum turning point. This is your minimum turning point at this point, where x was, it was actually 2,5. Yeah, that was 2,5. So you take this point. So it's 2,5 versus minus 5,4, this one. So that is the minimum turning point. So it's 2,5. Yes, so you're going to write the point. So here it was 2,5 versus minus 5,4. All right, that's where the graph is turning like this. That's minimum. When it turns like this one is maximum. So they need a point. So you state the value of x at that point and the value of y at that point. That is the minimum turning point. All right. Now, after that, use the graph to solve the equation x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4. As you can see, this is the original equation that you were given before. So you just take where this graph crosses the x-axis. Okay, so this is a CI item where this graph crosses the x-axis. It crosses the x-axis where at this point -1, and at this point is 1,12, something like 1,25. And at 3,1, 2, 3, 4, at 3,4, something like that. Okay, so those are the points that you're going to take. So I'm just going to write them here, guys, so that I don't disturb this part. So this was C item 2. So you're going to write the values of x. So you said x is what? -1. Yeah, is it? No, not actually -1, but somewhere between 0,9. So it can be 0,9, something like that. -0,9. Or the other one is going to be equal to 1,25, all right, or another x is going to be 3,1235, 3,25, something like that. Okay, so just write what you get on your graph. Where your graph crosses the x-axis, actually, that's where you're going to have your answer from. Okay, so that was it on the solutions of the graph. Okay, the other part now we are given, use the graph to find the area bounded by the graph, the x-axis and the lines x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Okay, so where is the graph bounded with x-axis? That's the first thing. Our graph here bounded with x-axis, and we are given the elastic condition, the lines x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. So you draw the lines here of x is equal to 3, that is, and x is equal to 2, straight to the graph. That is what you're going to have in this case. So I want you to see what I'm trying to say here. So here we are having something of this nature. X is equal to 2 is at this point. So you draw the line of x is equal to 2. It is going to meet with the graph here. This is your x is equal to 2. And also x is equal to 3. That is where you have your x is equal to 3 here. So this is the region that we are talking about, that is between the graph, the x-axis, and these two lines. X is equal to 2, x is equal to 3. So we are talking about this region in between this one. That is where we are going to have our box. So you calculate your box. These are 100. This is also 100. This is also 100. This is also 100. So you calculate all the boxes. Remember, guys, I talked about the issue of area. So this was C item 3. So remember, I told you that area is the number of boxes. You calculate your boxes. In this case, I calculated mine. I got something like 510 over 100 times the area of the unity square. Guys, I told you the square, the unity square is the first box, this one that you have. What is the area of that box? So it's 1 times 1, which is 1 square unit. So that is the one that you multiply with. So you're going to multiply with 1 square unit. All right, so if you calculate properly, it's going to be 5,10 square units, or you can write in words square units, units here, or you can write it as square units like this. Whatever that you're going to have, that is your area. All right, let's see the other part of the question. Okay, I think it's fine. Use the graph item 4. Use the graph to find the range of values of x for which f of x is less than minus 4. Here they are saying the values of x for which y is less than minus 4. That is what it means. Y is less than minus 4. So you need to know where y is minus 4 on our graph, okay? This is our graph here. Minus 4, this is our minus 4 here. This graph is less than minus 4 from here. Minus 4, minus 5, up to this. So we're talking about these values here, because from here it's minus 3, it's on top. So minus 4 is here. Let me indicate, maybe you can just save it with a ruler so that you can properly see what I'm trying to say. This is where y is equal to minus 4 here. Okay, y is equal to minus 4 is at this point. Okay, so just write it. That's y is equal to minus 4. But we are saying where it is less than, so it's less than between this region back to this region here. This is where our graph is less than what? Is less than negative 4 from this region that I'm indicating here. So what are the values of x from that one? So the x corresponds at minus 4. The first x at minus 4, it corresponds with 2. So it means this one, okay, this was item 4. So our x is going to be greater than 2, but less than at this minus 4, where it meets with the graph straight to the graph there, it is going to be not exactly this point. Here at this point, I actually drew aside. It was supposed to be a certain distance aside like this one. So it's going to be 3,12, yeah, 3,1 or 2, 3, something like that. All right, so that is where you're going to take the values of x. So this one is less than 3,2. All right, so guys, you take exactly at your point. So this one is not a 3, aside here, 3,2. So you take directly where your graph it turns, where your graph meets with this line. That is, this region is the one that we're talking about, from this point to this point, your graph is less than 4. Above, which means you're talking about this condition here on top here, that is it's greater than -4. From your inequalities, I think you can understand this much better. All right, so I think that was it. Let us see the other part that we are given. Okay, so I think this one was actually clear. Okay, number 11, we are now given the part of number 11 where we are now given that a school's agriculture department plants beans and peas in a 5-hectare field. X be the area of hectares required for beans. Okay, so X is going to correspond with beans here, and Y is going to correspond with peas. All right. So write down an inequality to satisfy this. So guys, we have got 5 hectares to use. So it's either if we plant the beans or we plant the peas, whatever that we're going to get should be less than or equal to 5, because this is the only amount of land, the land that we have. So it can be equal to that or be less than that. All right, so that was the first inequality. All right, then we move on to the other one. Beans require 2 bags of fertilizer per hectare, and peas 4 bags of fertilizer per hectare. Then we have got 16 bags that we need of fertilizer here. So we're going to formulate an equality. So take note, we said beans is represented by X, peas by what? By Y here. So 2 times X plus 4 times Y here should be less than or equal to the bags that we have. We can use all the bags of fertilizer, or we can use less than that. So that is why we are saying it's less than 16. So divide by 2 by 2 by 2 so that we can reduce this. So X plus 2Y is less or equal to 8. So we've got the second inequality that is according to the information. Let's see. The other part, all right, is it done? Okay, here is another part again. The department plants at least 1 hectare of beans. At least, guys, I told you, at least is greater than or equal to. So X is greater than or equal to 1. We have got inequality here. The same thing is happening on the peas again. Y is at least 1 hectare. So which means Y is going to be greater than or equal to 1 again. All right, so that's it. Another inequality. Then answer this part of the question on the grid, page 9, whatever that you have, 2 centimeters to represent 2 units on both axes, and we've got X and Y representing beans and peas. All right, so that's it. Let's see our graph, guys. So this is our X-axis, which represent beans here. So this is beans and this is peas. All right, so this is what we are actually given. So from the graph that we have, that is where we are going to mark our lines, draw our lines, and shade the unwanted region. Okay, so if you are to cross-check, guys, we had the first, I'm just going to represent our inequalities here. The first inequality was X plus Y is less than or equal to 5. So this one, we just need double intercept to have our line, whereby I told you guys, the first condition, we've got X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 0, like that. So X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 0. So when X is equal to 0 here, Y is equal to what? Y is equal to 5. When Y is equal to 0, X is equal to what? X is equal to 5. So you can use double intercept or you can use table values. All right, so these are the points 0, 5, and 5, 0. All right, so let us mark our points 0, 5 here, 5, 0 here. All right. So after marking the points, what are we going to have? We are going to join our points. All right, so let us join these points, and it's a continuous line because it was less than or equal to. So this one is going to give us a continuous line. All right, sorry, here I just need to change. All right, so you just have to join those 2 points that you are given. All right, something of this nature here. All right, so it's a continuous line like this. You write the equation of the line. So take note, we are given that X plus Y is equal to 5. Now let us cross-check according to our graph. We are talking about a condition which is less than or equal to 5. And this is the condition. Remember, I told you guys, this is the lesser region that we are having on this side. This side is the lesser, this is the bigger region. So we want to shade the one that we do not want. So we're going to shade the bigger region, the one that we do not need in this case. All right, so that was it. Let's see the other inequality. It was x plus 2y, if you still remember. X plus 2y is less than or equal to 8. Same like what we did, guys, double intercept again. So we're going to have 0, 0 here. So when x is equal to 0, 2y is equal to 8. So you can divide by 2 by 2. That means y is equal to 4. All right, we move on to the other condition. When y is equal to 0, x is equal to 8. So this is enough here, 0, 4 and 8, 0. So we've got 0, 4 at this point, 8, 0 at this point. All right, so these points, they are enough for us to have our graph being drawn. So we're going to join our points. All right, then it's a continuous line. Remember, it was less than or equal to, so it's going to be a continuous line like that. All right, so remember, guys, this is the same thing like what we had on the previous one, because it's less than, so definitely you're going to shade this side. All right, so this one you're shading the same side, just like the previous question. All right, then the other inequality, it was x is greater than or equal to 1. So you draw the line of x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1. That's somewhere here. All right, so we need x is equal to 1 somewhere here in between 0 and 2. And it's a continuous line because it's less than, it's greater than or equal to. All right, so this one is going to be a continuous line. So that's the line of x is equal to 1, but we're given greater than this side. So we're going to shade the lesser side this way. Okay, we do the same on the other one. It was y is greater than or equal to 1. So we draw the line of y is equal to 1. We just do the same concept here. All right, so guys, as you can see, this was one of the easiest inequalities that we had. We just joined the continuous line also. Write down the equation of the line y is equal to 1. The bigger side is on top, so we do not want which side? The one that is below here. So that was the presentation. So we're going to remain with this region. This is the one that you're going to use to find your answers from this region that you are seeing there. All right, so anyways, let's see the other part of the question, what we're now given after representing. The profit now we are given that is $30 per hectare and 40, okay, for beans here and 40 for peas. Find the area of each crop to be planted for maximum profit to be realized. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I'm just going to give you a glimpse idea of what is happening here. You're going to take the points which gives you maximum. Okay, so let us find our points, and the points should be taken from this region, and these are the points that you're supposed to be working with. This point here, which is 1, 1, so you're going to work with 1, 1. You work with this one. This is 4 versus what? 4 versus 1. 4 versus 1. We have got 2 versus what? Here 2 versus 3. All right, so we've got 2 versus 3. And we've got this one, 1 versus, okay, this one cannot because it will be a decimal. So that's what we need, maybe 1 versus 3. We've got also 1 versus 3. So you try which of these points is going to give you the maximum profit. Okay, so from the profit that we had, remember that beans in this case, which is X, it gives us $30. Okay, so as for me, I obtained this 0.23. That was the one which gives us maximum. Why? Like what I'm trying to say is that the profit that you're going to have, since X is represented by 2, so you multiply 30 times 2, all right, plus Y is represented by 3, so it's 3 times Y, which is 40, so it's 3 times 40 like this, which is going to give us 60 plus 120, and that's something like $180 as our profit. So if there is any other point which gives us an amount which is greater than this one, it means this answer is wrong. So I want you to find out from those points. I listed the points for you to use. So which one gives you maximum? But I saw, as for me, this is the one. As you can look, as for one, just look at the points. So try them and see. So it's a trial and error, but as you are trying, try to also not waste much time on your trial and error concept. Okay, anyways, that was it. Let's see the other part of the question that we are given. Now let's see the transformation question. Sorry, let me just remove this page here. All right, there on transformation, we are given triangle ABC at vertices at, those are the vertices of triangle A, which is the one that you see here. That's our triangle A. The other part, we are now given triangle B also. Those are the vertices, draw. So that's your triangle B. You mark the coordinates, then you join, okay? After that, the question is B, triangle C, the image is the image of what? Triangle C is the image of triangle B under an enlargement, center 2 minus 1. The enlargement factor, which is the scale factor, is negative 1,5. Draw and label triangle C. So take note, C is the image of triangle B. And we are given enlargement. Remember, enlargement, we are supposed to use the matrix Cook K000 K, like this, where K is this scale factor of minus 1,5. So it's minus 1,5, 0, 0, minus 1,5, like this. But I told you guys, in order for you to use this matrix, you must remove the center from the coordinates of the object. Your object in this case is triangle B. So this is our B here. These are the coordinates that you're going to use, 2, 3. So you're going to subtract the center first, 2, 3, 2, 0, 4, 0, like that. Then we subtract the center. What is the center? 2 minus 1. Okay. So what are you going to get? I'm just going to subtract it here so that we can utilize this space for calculation. 2 minus 2, that's a 0. 2 minus 2 is 0 again. 4 minus 2, that's 2. 3 minus minus 1, that's 4. 0 minus minus 1, that's 1. All right, let's just save for a little part. Okay, so this is 1. Also 1 again here. All right, then we can multiply by the matrix of minus 1,5, 0, 0, minus 1,5. And what do we obtain by multiplying? That's a 0 here, 0 here. Minus 1,5 times 2, that's minus 3. 0 multiplies everything, so it's minus 1,5 times 4, which is actually, okay, something like 6. 1,5 times 4 is supposed to be 6 there. All right, so this is 6. Minus 1,5 times this repeats, minus 1,5, minus 1,5. So after multiplying, don't forget to add back the center that you subtracted of 2, 1, minus 1. So you now add that center. So if we add our center, this is what we're going to have. 0 plus 2, that's 2. 0 plus 2, 2. Minus 1 plus 2, which is minus 3, sorry, it's minus 1. 6 plus minus 1, that's 6 minus 1, which is 5. Minus 1 minus 1,5, which is minus 2,5. Minus 1 minus 2, which is minus 2,5 also. So now you can mark the points that you're given, 2, 5, 2 minus 2,5. And the other one is minus 1 minus 2,5. So these points, they are enough for us to have the diagram that we actually need in this case. Okay, so let's see what we're going to have. 2 versus 5, our diagram here. 2 versus 5, that's somewhere here. And the other one is 2 and minus 2,5. They are repeating the same point. Okay, 2 and minus 2, let's see. 2 and minus 2,5. That's 1, 2.5 here. All right, let's just hope it's the actual thing. So you just cross-check also, guys, the points, if truly I did them fine. The other one is minus 1 and minus 2,5. Okay, minus 1 here, minus 1 is somewhere here in between, and minus 2,5. So it's going to be somewhere here. All right, I just hope these points, guys, are correct. I don't know. Just cross-check also. If there is another point which is wrong, let us know in the comment section what exactly where we made the error, because guys, we're adding and subtracting and that, and I actually avoided to use the calculator. I don't know why. I was just supposed to use a calculator, but if so, these are the points. All right, then from there we can join points here. All right, so what are you going to have? So guys, I just want to back this one, 0 here. All right, so I'm going to join back to this point. All right, so that's our triangle, and this makes this to be our triangle C. All right, so something like that. So guys, like I said, cross-check your answers if they are corresponding with us. So if truly they are corresponding, then it's fine, but not, then let me know. Point C, point -2 is translated onto 6 - 2. Find the, this one is just a direct question. This one is translated onto, so this is your image. This is the object. So remember that translation vector is image minus object. So this one is just application image. That's 6 - 2 minus the object, which is -2, 2. So if you subtract 6 minus minus, that's 8. -2 - 2, which is -4. So we have got our translation vector. All right. So let's see the other part there. All right. So let's just direct this one. After that, what is the question? Triangle D, the image of A under a translation represented by the matrix. Find the coordinates. No, do not draw, just find the coordinates. So what are you going to do? Matrix times object is equal to image. So the matrix is already given 1 - 2, 0, 1 times the object now, which is triangle A. So you write the coordinates of triangle A. Remember, it was -5, 2, -2, 2. -2, 4. So guys, I want you to multiply. If you multiply properly, this is what you're going to obtain as your coordinates. 2, 12, -2, 6, and -2, 8. So make sure that you multiply properly, guys. All right. So the last one is now describe fully the single transformation which maps triangle A onto B. So the A onto B, the one that was given before. If you cross-check that one. Okay, so this is A onto B on our diagram, this one, A and B. So what am I going to do? You join the points. Remember, guys, these are isometries there. So you're going to join the points. And that one, after joining the points, actually, guys, there is too much noise now. So I'm just going to write the answers, but I want you to do it and see if it is going to correspond. That one was going to be a rotation. So it is a rotation. So it was going to be a rotation. The center was going to be -1, -1. And the angle of rotation was supposed to be 90 degrees clockwise. So actually, there's a lot of noise, guys. I don't know if you have managed. Let me just try to see. I don't know if it is clear. If it is clear. But okay, it's fine. So guys, I want you to try that one because it's actually too much this noise. But join your points like this one. You just join your points, then you bisect to find the center. Remember, I told you guys about rotation. So you join this point corresponds with this point here. This one, it corresponds with this one. These are the one that you join. The last one definitely is this point and this point. So they will meet at a certain point, 2 points, then you bisect them. That's where they are going to meet at -1, 1 like that. So if you measure that angle by joining corresponding points here, it is going to give us 90 degrees. I talked about this transformation rotation, guys. Please make sure that you watch the video on transformation, but that's it. So that's it, guys, from Mason African Motives, working on O-level mathematics till we meet again.